And like he never went out on any searches with Warren or Zach, but you're stalking around the red container with a knife in your hand at the same time Jay's gone missing. Why are you looking for someone with a blade? Laura, I find it... I don't want to ever judge a family, and I've been in trouble before because people have said I've gone against Jay Slater's family. I've never. I literally question why the GoFundMe was open for so long after he'd already been found. I have that question in any case because I work with other families who have never got to bring their children home from abroad. They have to cremate them first because they can't afford it. So yes, I had that question. The video is still up. I've never removed a Jay Slater video. Thank you, Angela. A lot of people dealt with misinformation. She said this about mum, she said this about... All my videos are still up. I've never removed one. Never said anything horrific. I backed Warren through and through. I wonder if there are some serious people involved, if there's been some threats. I wonder if the family don't feel safe speaking out. Thank you, Andreen. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Linda. I've never believed it was Jay in the back of the car. Never. It just didn't fit his face. And I find it weird how he sent 2 messages to 2 friends, both about a stolen watch. In one he called it an AP, and one he called it a Rollie, and both he spelt Malley's different. Like what, in the period of 10 minutes he was spelling words different. Like it never made any sense. I believe from the time that Jay sent the message probably saying that he'd been marked, he no longer had control of his own phone. Thank you, Charmer. The messages, thank you, Angela, thank you, Stace. Thank you everyone for the gifts. Want to share a case? You can send me anything you want, mate. From the moment at the Airbnb with the pictures of the flowers, the pictures of Jay wearing the blanket and all that was never Jay taking those photos, let's be honest. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Sarah. Ritz, I'll give you a follow so you can see. What you have to kind of bear in mind is in order for somebody to have staged those photos, etc., there was... Bless Tori. Oh my God, I haven't even seen Ditzy. For anyone in any situation, especially the idiots in this case we're dealing with, to have had the wherewithal to... She said Taylor said she hates me. Case. Because you would have to say, we need to take a picture in the back of the car. We need to send messages off of his phone. We need to take a picture that makes it look like he was alive at the Airbnb. I think whatever had been set in motion happened the night before. I don't believe for a second that Jay Slater went to the Airbnb to sell a watch and stole a bag of Ket. It makes no sense. What I find with Ayub Qasim, and I've told him this to his face and I've told him in messages as well, he changes his story all the time with every new bit of information that comes out. So the day that I made the video, must have been in July of last year, I made a video that showed a second car arriving at the location of the Airbnb. I made the video, I tagged Ayub in it and said, isn't it weird how no one mentioned the second car that arrives at the Airbnb that possibly took Jay Slater from the scene? He then went to the Daily Mail the very next day and said, oh, a second vehicle arrived the next day. They asked me to move my car, and as I'm looking in the rearview mirror moving my car, Jay's walking off to get some scran. But we managed to prove the second vehicle stayed at that property for 30 minutes that morning from 7 to 7:30. So who asked you to move the car? You move your car and they just stay for half an hour. Then he started telling this weird story about how they'd gotten out of the car and asked him to move his vehicle pushing a wheelbarrow. And started going on about the heels have eyes and all of this. I don't know how much Ketty had done that day. I don't know why this is coming up with some kind of flash girl, as long as I don't have to. Out of their car, a man, a woman and a child, remove a wheelbarrow from the car, knock on your door and ask you to move your car and then sit there for half an hour. How does that make sense? I put a video about 2 weeks ago with my messages I had with Ayub while Jay was missing. I'd messaged him on Instagram. I thought I'd just take a chance, and I didn't tell him who I was. I just said kind of, where was Jay? He answered me and then he went, fuck, you're that woman off of TikTok. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what are you doing messaging me? I'm like, just what I ask. He told me in that message that he was asleep the whole time Jay was at the Airbnb. And I've posted a copy of the actual messages so you can read from Quack Quack Entertainment. He saw Jay leave out of a rearview mirror, and he watched Jay leave from the door after Jay said, I'm off my head gurning, but I want some scran. cheese and onion sandwich. It makes no sense. Like, all three things can't be true. And when people lie, they lie to cover something. Like, no one lies just because nothing happened. This is the thing, Chel. Like, when you hear things about, like, he brought up a wheelbarrow, he's probably scared you're a big creator. I wasn't really at the time, though. Unless you mean chubby fearless. Yeah, you don't tend to bring up weird details like a wheelbarrow unless one was involved somehow and you want to at some point cover for that. So there was definitely a wheelbarrow or something like that involved at some point, because why would you mention it? Was Jay's phone found? Did he have more than one phone? And at what point it was found? Because when Millie was up there searching, she had contacted me on one of the days to say that she was there where a smashed phone was recovered from where the palm tree was the last ping, up high in the brambles. And she had said, "Is that Jay's phone?" And the detective there at the time said, "We'll announce it in the media when we're ready." Then we found out from down the rapids one day that his phone was found down on the Masca beach. Then it was found with his body. Like, when was it found? Where is it now? Who knows? Kids wheelbarrow from the construction? I don't know, Zoe.